Like, how many nursing students get to interact with patients like this during their preceptorship, you know? Good afternoon, guys. It is Monday, October the 31st, and otherwise known as Halloween. So happy Halloween to all of those that celebrate Halloween and everything like that. It's 1:16 and I'm on my way to campus. Today is our first day of leadership, otherwise known as my last nursing class. I left off the last video by saying that I did successfully complete advanced Med-Surg. No, I still don't know what I got in the course, but I done the class, and that's what really matters. So yeah, I had a really nice weekend. I went out, visited some friends. Where's this traffic coming from? It's 117. Come on. Yeah, so I'm headed to my last nursing class in this program, and it's leadership. Other programs pretty much call it a preceptorship. That's pretty much what it is. We're going to be going over, I think, like resume building and other. I'm not quite sure, so I don't want to give you guys confidence if I know what we're doing, because I don't. Yeah, more traffic. Great. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing right now. I will check in after class, and I will let you guys know what we did today and what will be happening. Okay. I really like this chapstick. I like my lips. I kind of like I've been frying chicken with these lips now. Okay, no, I've never. Why is this car braking? There's no cars in front of you. Nada. Hello, welcome back. Alright, so it is now 5:51 in the afternoon and I am headed home, and per usual, plenty of traffic, so it's gonna take me a while to get home. But I have somewhat exciting news. I feel like every time I get on camera I say I have exciting news. My life is not that exciting, but a lot of good things have been happening to me lately. So, we had leadership today. Basically, we just went over the syllabus, which is like the first time ever in this nursing program where they actually sat down and we went through the entire syllabus. Basically, it's a 6-week course. However, I'm only going to be in the hospital 4 days. Yes, crazy. I have Saturday, Sunday clinicals, and because we're in the holiday season, it basically ate up a lot of the days that we would have been at the hospital. So there's Thanksgiving weekend, we can't go to the hospital. There's Veterans Day weekend, we can't go to the hospital. And there's we have our HESI review, which is like our review for the exit HESI, and kind of like a whatever. We have that, and those are 3 weekends back to back to back. So because of that, that ate up 6 clinical days. So that's why we're only going to be in the hospital for 4 days, which is nuts. So we're going to be in the hospital for 4 days, and then that is it. My clinical experience in nursing school is done. And we have our first clinical next weekend, well, this coming weekend, which is the first weekend in November. And then we have our second weekend of clinicals, the first weekend of December, and that is literally it. So that is how my leadership is going to be working. What else did we learn? We have like some presentations that we have to put on. We have a project that we have to do amongst ourselves. So if I want like a B in the course or an A, I have to do extra project work to earn that grade. We're required to do 250 NCLEX questions per week, or 1,500 NCLEX questions by the end of the course, which is not really a big deal. I actually feel like 250 a week is not a whole lot. I'm gonna try to shoot to complete at least 2,000 questions before the exit HESI, not even before the class is over. And what else did we talk about in class? We talked about cover letters, resumes, how to dress for an interview, things that I feel like I already know, but whatever, you know, maybe everyone doesn't know it, so it's good to hear. And that's all I can really remember. I'm sure we went over much more, but I'd have to look at the actual syllabus and my notes to remember everything that we did. And so yeah, that was from 2 to about 5, really, even though the class is supposed to end at 4:30. It really ended at 5, but I'm okay with that. So I did that, and then I applied for, let me cover this up because I don't need y'all knowing what school I go to right now. Actually, the light turned green, so you're gonna have to wait till I get to another red light to see what I'm talking about. Oh, this truck is like all up on me, and this car is driving hella slow. Hella slow. I really want Popeyes. Am I the only one signed up for Popeyes alerts on their phone? Because I definitely get text messages when they have specials going on. It's really not good, but I just love Popeyes. I love Popeyes so much. But I'm actually gonna go to Chipotle instead, you know, the healthier option, because it's Halloween and they have $3 burritos, and I'm gonna go dressed as the nurse. I know, kind of lame, but whatever. It's a costume, and I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna get my $3 burrito, and I'm gonna sit at home and reward myself, because I don't have class or clinicals until Friday. So I have I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. So I'm gonna have so much free time. I mean, I'm gonna read through the entire Saunders book and try to, you know, do my knock out as many questions as I can, but still, like, that's still a lot of free time, you know. Alright, so back to what I was trying to originally show you. Looking like turn green. Now I'm at a red light, you know. Gotta be safe. So I might have to cover some of this up in the video too. This is my application for graduation. Yes, I applied for graduation today, and it feels great. And that's the real reason why I'm gonna go to Chipotle, outside of the fact that they have $3 burritos. That's just an added bonus. But I have officially applied for my graduation from nursing school. Although I'm not attending the actual graduation ceremony, because I'm not gonna attend a graduation ceremony in April or possibly even May for a program that I finished in December. One, because by April, hopefully I'll be licensed and employed, so it won't even be that big of a deal for me. And then number 2 is I've already had a graduation ceremony. When I got my first bachelor's degree, I did all of that, you know, decorated my cap and gown, crossed the stage, heard the graduation music, hugged my parents, went out to dinner. I did all of that, so I have no desire to go through another large graduation ceremony. And so I'm not. I will attend my pinning ceremony because that's more momentous and more special for us as nursing students. But no, I will not be attending graduation. I'm sure if it was, I feel like if the ceremony was in December, I probably would go. I wouldn't make as big of a deal about it as I did when I got my first bachelor's degree. But yeah, I'd still go. But I mean, really, April, ain't nobody got time for that, so I'm not going. That's really all the news that I have for you today. I don't know, I'll probably study and try to record some videos with all this free time that I have. I'm aiming to try to put out at least one video a week, but we shall see. We shall see. Alright guys, I'm gonna drive home and listen to music. So yeah, alright. Good morning. I know you can't see me because of the lighting, but yeah, just got to get over that. It is 5:33 in the morning, and I am kind of sort of on my way to my preceptorship or my clinicals for my last course in nursing school. I was supposed to print some paperwork basically explaining the role of the preceptor, the role of the student, and the role of the educator, just so I can have that handy. That's what our instructor asked us to do. And of course, I waited until maybe like 10 o'clock last night to try to print it from my printer at home. And my printer was not cooperating. Like, I don't know what happened to it, but it was really late and I needed to go to bed, so I was just like, I'll just get up early and drive to FedEx and print it there. So that's why I left the house earlier than I usually would, so that I can go print out these documents and still make it on time to my hospital rotation. But yeah, that is what I'm doing right now. I will check in with you guys once I park in the garage. Okay, so I just left FedEx and I was literally the only person in there. Not that I'm surprised, because who's really going to be at FedEx at 5:45 in the morning on a Saturday? Nobody. It was very quick. And now I'm back on the road to the hospital, and I almost forgot that today was Saturday, because in my mind I was like, wow, there's literally no traffic. Even at this time, there's usually traffic where I live because there are a lot of schools and, you know, people are getting to work. So there's always some kind of traffic, but on the weekends, I guess not, because there are maybe like 10 cars on the road, which is nothing compared to what it usually is. She is definitely lit, girl. You had a good old Friday night. Okay. But yeah, I will check with you when I get to the hospital. Hey guys, so it is now 7:40 in the evening, and I have just completed my first leadership clinical, or my first preceptorship clinical, and I'm about to head home. But first I need to wipe down my phone, because I don't need none of that, and I'm gonna wipe down my watch, because I had a couple of different patients that were on contact, and I'm not trying to take any of that home, so I wiped down my watch, toss that in the bag, and I've already wiped down my bag and my stethoscope. Let's get this show on the road. Hello guys, so it is now 7:43 in the evening, and I am finally headed home after clinicals. Alright, so some things I'd like to mention about my clinical preceptorship are that I'm on a surgical progressive care unit. So that's the unit that I will be on for the duration of my preceptorship. And what kind of patients do I see on this floor? Okay, what's something different that I saw? I was able to care for a patient that underwent gender reassignment, and that was a very cool experience. Yes, I've never cared for a patient that underwent surgery like that, so it was really nice to experience something new and innovative, you know. And the patient that I cared for that underwent their surgery was so wonderful and so nice, like such a joyful personality, and they were just genuinely happy, and it made me happy. So that was the patient where I was most inexperienced, because I had never dealt with a patient that had surgery like that. Other than that, I feel like it went really smooth. I had a wonderful nurse. She was really cool. She was really nice. I have one other classmate that's on the floor with me, so I'm not completely alone, but for the most part, like, my professor's not on the floor, and none of my other classmates are on the floor with me. What I focused on today was just caring for my patient solely by myself and making sure that my charting was up to par. And overall, it was just a really good, well-rounded clinical day. And yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm not excited to wake up early, but that's all we really have to say about my first clinical experience. I know it's kind of brief, but there will be more to come, believe me. But this is just the beginning, so I'm not going to study tonight. I'm not going to do any questions. I'm just going to relax and get my mind right for clinicals tomorrow. So I will see you all in the morning. Good morning, guys. It is 6:40 in the morning, and I'm currently at the hospital ready to head inside. Just wanted to check in and let you guys know that I made it, and I will speak more later on once clinicals is finished. Hello guys, it is now 7:45 in the evening and I am headed home again after my leadership clinical. Hey guys, I tried to record this on my camera, but I don't have any more space on my memory card, and the second memory card is currently at home. So I think I like this better with my phone because it adjusts to low light, so you can actually see me in these vlogs. And it is currently 7:49, and today was an amazing day. Like, it was so awesome. I had a really good nurse yesterday, and I was fortunate enough to have another really good nurse today. But it was kind of a rough start because the nurse that I was assigned to yesterday had 5 patients that she was caring for, and my goal for today, or my assignment for today, as far as my clinical professor said, was that I was to take 2 out of the 5 patients that she had yesterday, and I would be responsible for their care for the day completely. And I'd already picked out what 2 patients that I wanted to use for this assignment yesterday before I left the floor. And because the nurse that I was with yesterday wasn't going to work today, I had to then be paired with the nurse that was taking over those 2 patients that I had, or that I was supposed to care for today. So when I get to the floor today, basically the nurse that was caring for my 2 patients, she wasn't the most student-friendly nurse, and even the nurse practitioner on the unit recommended that my professor not even assign a student to this particular nurse because she just wasn't student friendly. And honestly, it's not a good experience for the nurse or the student when, you know, like, the nurse isn't responding well. So that didn't work at all. So my professor was basically like, oh my god, you might just have to suck it up and like deal with this nurse. And in my mind, I'm like, why would I want to be paired up with a nurse who doesn't like students or want to be bothered with students for 12 hours, you know? Like, I'm already gonna have a long and exhausting day because that's the work of a nurse, but I at least want to be paired with someone who wants me there, you know? So fortunately, my other classmate had a really cool nurse, and she was like, oh, I have no problem taking 2 students, and she can have one of my patients that she can care for, and it'll be fine. It ended up working out great. I was still able to do so much, and the nurse was very helpful, and I'm so glad that I was able to be paired with her and not that other nurse. So overall, I had a really great day. Key points that I want to touch on: the floor that I'm on now is so much different from the floor that I was on for Med-Surg. I feel like things are just streamlined better on this floor. It has an effect on the nurses. Like, the nurses don't seem as stressed out. Things are easier to get done. The team works more cohesively. I don't know what the issue is with the other floor because I still had great experiences on that floor, and I learned a lot, and the nurses were wonderful and the staff was wonderful. But this floor that I'm on now, which is a surgical progressive care unit, it's just a breath of fresh air, and the working environment is wonderful. What are some cool things that I did today? I got to care for a patient that had a Whipple procedure, and if you know anything about a Whipple procedure, then you know that it's a pretty horrendous surgery. And like, it's like, not that surgery is fun in general, because it's not, but the Whipple procedure specifically is just, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's very painful. So I was able to care for a patient like that, but the patient was like lovely. Again, I was able to care for a different patient that had done a gender reassignment surgery. I'm glad that I was able to care for a patient like that again today, because, you know, I was able to learn so much. Like, how many nursing students get to interact with patients like this during their preceptorship, you know? Another patient that had thrombocytopenia, and their platelets were like 9,000, which is cray. You know, there were some other patients, but those are the 3 that stuck out to me based off their pathophysiology and their disease process. Yeah, like, I just had a wonderful experience, and I feel like in these 2 days that I've had my leadership clinicals, I have learned tons. Like, I have learned so much in 2 days. I don't think I've learned this much in such a short amount of time in clinicals, like, ever, because now there's more responsibility on my shoulders. But it was a great experience, and it kind of sucks that I only have 2 more like days in the hospital as far as my preceptorship is concerned. And I almost wish that I had more so that I could learn more, you know? Like, I have learned so much in 2 days that I know if I had more days, I would learn so much more. Tomorrow, I have my second lecture for leadership. I'm not 100% sure what we're going over, and I forgot to mention this in my last video about leadership, but there are no formal exams in this course, none. So I don't have any like sit down exams. There's nothing I really need to study for. I only have one more exam left, and that is my HESI, and that is pretty much all that I'm studying for at this point. Although I haven't been studying a whole lot. I've been pretty lazy, I'm not gonna lie, because I've had like a decent break from school. So I've kind of just been sitting at home doing a bunch of nothing. So you know what I'm saying, don't be like me, don't be like me. Study for real, and I do plan on studying. I guess I kind of just needed like a good break after having my final and my HESI for advanced Med-Surg the same week. I just needed like a woosah moment, you know, where I was just like, your brain needs a good break, and that's what you're gonna give to it. Now I know that I need to get back on the wagon and really start preparing for the HESI, because this is really it. I'm also pretty sure that as far as like an NCLEX review course goes, I'm gonna go with UWORLD. I've seen a lot of good YouTube videos about it, and one of the nurses on the floor that I was on today, she wasn't the nurse that I was assigned to. She graduated from the nursing school that I currently attend. She graduated last December. She said that she did UWORLD and it helped a lot. And so that, in addition to watching a lot of, you know, it's not like I just heard this from word of mouth and was like, oh yeah, I'm picking UWORLD. I did my research, and I feel like UWORLD is the best fit for me. But I have heard good things about Kaplan and HERS, but I'm gonna go ahead and just go with UWORLD. So, you know, within the next month and a half, I'll be purchasing my subscription, probably sometime after the HESI exam. So that's what I'll probably do, in addition to like my Saunders and like class notes and things like that. That is an NCLEX review course that I will be going with. I'm only gonna be vlogging my daily activities on, oh my god, there's always traffic at night. It's 8 o'clock. What do you... It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Oh, this is an accident. Yeah, people were driving slow because they was trying to be nosy. That's why. But anyways, what was I saying? That I'm only going to be vlogging on the 2 more clinical days that I have for leadership, and on the days that I have my leadership seminar, my actual lecture portion for leadership. And I'll just put out other content ideas outside of that, because I don't really want to bore you with like my day-to-day life, because it's actually really boring. There's really no point in doing that. Thanks again. Like, I keep getting subscribers, and it's crazy because I honestly don't feel like I'm that interesting, you know? Like, I honestly don't think I'm that interesting, but I appreciate it, and thanks to everyone who comments. I love interacting with you guys. I feel like the nursing community on YouTube is so small compared to like, you know, hair, makeup, and like technology. Like, the nursing community is so small that I feel like I'm able to interact with a lot of people that also put out content, and it's wonderful, you know? Like, it really makes me happy that I can share my experiences with other people, you know? Like, we can just get through this process together, and we don't have to feel alone. It's so refreshing, and I feel like I have other people supporting me. When I watch videos and it's like someone's nursing school acceptance video, like, I'm happy with them. Like, if they fail an exam, I'm like, I've been there, girl. Like, you can get through this. Like, if they pass the NCLEX, dug in with them, like, hey, you just passed the NCLEX. Yes, like, I'm genuinely happy. I will catch you guys in the next video. I know I said that like a million times. I'm gonna stop rambling, so bye.